Warning, warning, the following recording has some explicit content. Listener's discretion is advised. It is October 30th, 2024. Just woke up from a dream, man. This dream, uh, I don't like this one. But here's the thing. I know I said before that, I believe we can dream up everything or dream up anything based on the world we wake up to, right? The reality, or I don't even think it's the real world or whatever, maybe, even though it's the real world in this real world, if that makes sense. But I believe at the end of the day, it's like we dream about whatever we see in this reality, what we look at, what we observe, what we feel in this world, what we that little minor thought that we put in the back of our mind. Sometimes we have a thought and then we just throw it back in the back of our subconscious to put it away. And that's what we dream up, and then it blooms into very something very visual, something very strong, something that you may think that it may be happening, and it could be very well maybe happening, but sometimes it may not. At the end of the day, truth shall be revealed regardless. In this reality, truth shall be revealed. This is not me saying that I should just go be looking into this thing because I don't want to be dreaming up all this craziness anyway. You know what I'm saying? I want peace when I dream. Um, when I go into the real world, I should say, right? My dreams. I want peace. I don't want nightmares. I don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? Um, so with that being said, all right. So this dream, my wife is getting ready for work, whatever. It's crazy how she's getting ready for work because I was up earlier and she was getting ready for work in this reality, in the wake up world. So she's getting ready for work and all this other stuff. Um, and I think that's what she told me too. I believe in the dream she tells me that she's going to work. She's getting ready for work. She's going to work, right? She's getting ready, all this boom, 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 all this other stuff. And so she told me she's getting ready for work. She start getting dressed, boom, 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 and she starts to walk out the house or whatever. Um, in this dream, I'm suspicious in some sense. I'm suspicious that she's stepping out or cheating or something like that or whatever. She's stepping out of the relationship, right? So then I kind of like, cause she had already left. She walking outside, but then I look in the garage. I look in the garage and her car is still there. I'm like, okay, I thought she was going to work. What the heck? Why she didn't drive away? Well, her car is still here. So it's kind of odd to me. And so when I walked outside to go look for her, I didn't see her. But then I start seeing a lot of people, personnels, people that work at her same store or establishment were walking towards somewhere. They was walking to an area where there's a big old bus. It kind of looked like a school bus in a sense, but this bus looked so weird because it was filled up with a lot of around it. It was filled up with a lot of drinks, like Gatorade and Coke and a lot of like Coke products, Pepsi products, a lot of drinks around as if this bus was holding onto all these pallets of drinks for a trip or something. Like it seemed like they going on a trip, right? So like got all these pallets like attached to this bus, bro, on both sides, right? All around this bus, and then I walk out and I'm looking at this bus, and I'm seeing people going towards this bus as they're walking towards it. I ain't see my wife. She might have probably been already on the bus or getting on the bus. She was far off. because I was far off from the bus, from my vision, from my view. But this, I see a lot of people walking towards the bus as if these people were going on the bus um, for a trip or something, like, you know. So I start seeing some guys walk past me. Some like two guys are walking past me. Like I said, I'm in my suspicious mode right now for some odd reason. I'm in my suspicious mode because I feel like my wife is stepping out or cheating or something like that or whatever, whatever. Like I said, like I said, this is just a dream. This may not be happening in the real world, but then again, it may be happening in this reality too, right? So don't let me put that disclaimer out there as well. It may or may not be happening as far as my wife's cheating or stepping out, but I don't know in this reality. So let me put that disclaimer out. I'm not here trying to defame anybody or put somebody in defamation or anything like that. You know, the truth shall be revealed eventually, right? Anyway, let's move on. So everybody, everybody. So these two guys walk past me, right? It's like I said, I'm in my suspicious mode, and I'm grabbing them up like, yo, what you doing? What you doing? Like I'm checking them like I'm patting them down as if I'm some sort of police or something. Like, what you doing, man? I'm patting them down in my suspicious mode. I'm just asking them like stupid questions, like, man, what you doing, man? What you going on that bus for? What's that bus for? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? I'm patting on both of them, like, what y'all doing? Like, you know what I mean? They looking around like, what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, nah, I'm just playing, bro. Come here. I said, I'm just playing, bro. I start giving them a hug or whatever, right? So that's when I walk. They was walking toward the bus, but I ran towards. I started walking faster towards the bus. Not even ran. I was walking fast, swiftly towards the bus to catch up to my wife or whatnot because it seemed like this is where she was headed or whatever. I see a lot of people in her same kind of gear or uniform or some sense or whatever. So I walk up to the bus. I got closer to the bus, right? Can see my wife. There's a whole bunch of people surrounding the bus, trying to get on, whatever, whatever, whatever. It seemed like this bus was about to be packed full. We're talking about. I look in the windows. I'm sorry. I look in the windows, and everybody's in a seat, right? So I'm looking in the windows, and that's when I see my wife. Like she's walking in, she's on the phone right there. She's walking in, and she's on her phone. She's smiling on the phone. She doesn't see me. She doesn't see me on the outside. From the inside, she doesn't see me. But I'm trying to call to her at the same time. So she's not, I don't know if she can hear me, but like I said, she's on the phone at the same time. She got the phone in her ear. So she's walking to the back, and I'm walking, looking at her walk to the back. So I'm walking at the same time to where she finally sat down. She finally sat down. Right? The window's open now. The window's open. And she finally sat down. She's still on the phone. She's smiling. Boom, boom, boom. Right? So that's when I kind of like reached up because I was still trying to get her attention. I reached up and I tried to like, yo, like wave. I waved at her, right? You know, so I think I maybe knocked on the bus or whatever like that. I think I knocked on the bus. Yeah, knocked on the bus and I got her attention. Her, her face looked it kind of like poised or something like. She had like a blank face, like what the, you know what I mean? Like a blank face, kind of like that. Or I should say a questionable face. Like, what's going on? So she looked at me and then she kind of like looked at her phone at the same time, right? And she kind of put the phone down. Usually when someone has a phone or has a phone, say, I'll call you back or call you back later when someone, she didn't do that. She didn't get back on the phone and say, I'll call you back later. She just kind of looked at her phone and kind of like put it down. She looked at me at the same time, like with a questionable face, like, what's going on? So I was like, yo, where you going, man? Where you going? What's going on? What you doing? Who's on the phone? This is what, like I said, I'm in my suspicious mode. Man, who on the phone, man? Who on the phone? So I try to like grab the phone. Like I'm reaching from outside the bus. I'm reaching for her phone. I was grabbing her phone, like, you know what I'm saying? Who on the phone? Who doing? What's going on? Who on this phone or whatever? right? So, like I said, I'm trying to grab the phone. I wasn't able to grab the phone. I think she wanted him hanging up on whoever she was talking to. But she kind of like moved the phone to her other hand, her left hand or whatever. So I couldn't get the phone or whatever. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Yo, get off the bus, man. Get off the bus. Let's go. We need to talk. Get off the bus. Get off the bus." And eventually, she got off the bus, right? And I kind of like started pulling her into this place we're in. It's kind of weird. We're like in the middle of nowhere. I forgot to. I should have said that from the jump, from the beginning. Like it seemed like we're in the middle of like nowhere. There's like a whole bunch of sand and like dying bushes and dying trees. I would say it's like a whole. It's like a sand. It's like like a desert type. It's like a desert. A whole bunch of I don't know where we was living at or where. I don't know where we was living in, but the scenery was like a desert with like dying yellow bushes or trees or something like that. Like you know what I mean. So as she stepped out of the bus, I kind of like started pulling her towards away from the bus. You know what I'm saying? Away from the bus. I'm start pulling her. So as I'm pulling her and literally trying to ask a question at the same time, which is not a good thing to do anyway. Don't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stop and talk to somebody, look in their eyes or whatever. As I'm pulling her away from the bus because we need to talk. You got time to get back on the bus whenever. But one of her coworkers came off the bus and started walking behind me and her. The coworker, which was some dark skinned chick, who I believe I recognize, which is you know, for remember purposes, I'm gonna call her L. L. She came off the bus and she started walking behind us, and I was like, "Okay, young lady, how you doing? Can you back up?" She was like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna stand here just in case nothing happened, you know." And she's my friend, she's my coworker. I'm just make sure everything is fine. I said, "Okay, yeah, but you could move away from us because this is a family issue. This is my wife and I'm her husband, so you don't have to be in the midst." She's like, "Okay, no, that's fine." So I started kind of like I grabbed this young lady's hand, L's hand. I didn't grab her hand. I took my hand and started pulling her arm. You know what I'm saying? Her arm from her elbow part and started pulling her away, like telling her to move out my way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I'm pulling her. She's so damn skinny. I could use my three fingers to pull her to away from us. Like, okay, young lady, I'm gonna pull. This is I actually started pulling her. So I pulled her. Okay, young lady, you could get out my way because I'm dealing with family issue right now. This is me and my wife or whatever. So you could step back, or I could call the cops. You know what I mean? She was like, okay, well, that's fine, but yeah, so I did that. I moved her out my way, and I started to pull my wife the other way. The young lady, Mrs. L, she stood by. She didn't walk up. She just stood by. So I'm like, that's when I stopped my wife. I'm like, yo, what's going on, yo? What's going on? Who was on the phone? Who was on the phone? So she started telling me who was on the phone. She was like, I was talking to my friend. I'm talking to my friend or whatever. Okay, well, let me see who this friend is. Pull up the number. Pull up whoever. So I pull up she pulled up the number because I couldn't get into the phone. She got an iPhone, so I don't know how to work no damn iPhone. But she got an iPhone or whatever, and she pulled up the numbers, like, look, boom, this is who I was talking to. And it's like, okay, well, look. She was like, look at the timestamp, look at the time, boom, boom, boom. She had a name there or whatever, but the name looked like it's from like, place seemed like it's from California or something like that. This is what my brain is putting up or whatever. So it seems legit in a sense, but still I don't know because I don't know phones and I don't know how these things work. But I know for sure women are very craftier in cheating, very very crafty. You know what I mean? They might do it on your nose. You don't know it because they're so crafty. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I said, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that this is happening in the real world. It may be, but I'm not. I'm not. This is not. This is not the platform for me to say, okay, this is happening. My dreams are happening or going to happen or something like that. I would never say that. I believe my dreams are manifesting. Dream. The things that I dream up are manifestations of what I look at in the real world. Subtle signs, subtle this, subtle maybe TV shows, movies, stuff like that is probably what I watch, is why I'm manifesting these things in my dream. So it's probably very imperative for anyone to kind of watch what they look at or observe or absorb or anything like that, because it will manifest in your dream world, and you don't want unrestfulness in your dream world. You want peace. So back to the dream. So as I'm sitting there trying to figure out and accuse her and of cheating and all this other stuff, I couldn't prove that. But I did start to kind of question her as to what's going on with this bus. Where are you going on this bus? What is that? You told me you was going to work, right? This is what I'm asking. This is what I'm telling her. You told me you was going to work. You look like you look like y'all about to go on some vacation or trip or something. Like, she was like, yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know that either. I just thought we was going. I thought we was going to work too, but it seemed like we just going on a vacation or trip. She's literally saying the same thing I just said. She said, I didn't know this was going to happen, but they round us up. They rounding us up. All of us are coworkers. They rounding us up, and we about to go to somewhere, some trip, something. So it's just that's just how it is. I don't So I was like, oh, okay. I think that's when I woke up or the dream ended, because I didn't have nothing. I was just literally in my suspicious mode for some reason. I'm not even gonna say no reason, but for some reason I was in my suspicious mode, and there was no concrete evidence for me to be like, okay, yeah, she was cheating. But I don't know what this dream means. It could be, um, if I were to interpret it, I believe she gives too much to her job. I know that, and we was just talking about that earlier. She kind of like is on their not to say that she's on their beck and call. I don't like the way they do things at her job, bro. For her to be some sort of manager, I don't like the way they treat her. They call her in all the damn time to do crap that they don't even know what to do, and it's just like she gives her all, um as if she's the job. You know what I'm saying? I told her, like, you don't have to be the job when you're not clocked in. You don't have to live the job. You don't have to be. You could be your own person. You know, it's gonna get to the. It's probably gonna get to. Hope I hope. I don't like to speak negativity, but it's gonna get to the point where she's gonna get burnt out, man. You know, yeah, like I said, I don't know the true interpretation of this dream. She may or may not be cheating. It don't matter. I'm at a point of understanding anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a point of understanding as to why people do the things they do. If anybody has been listening to my voice recordings, I'm at a point of understanding the world. I'm putting on Christ consciousness to understand the way of people, of myself, my self-awareness, that even I don't have it too right. You know what I'm saying? I have demons, or I don't even like to use the word demons, but I'm gonna still use it. Demons or negative energy. I like to call it negative energy. Even I have negative energies or thoughts or anything like that. So understanding the world and why people do these things, cheat and all this other stuff, I'm at a place of understanding as to why there might be something rooted very, very deeply, right? It could be other things like wanting to express the fantasy of of anything that you're viewing, everything that you're reading, everything that you're listening to. You may want to, if I would say, live out that fantasy, because if you understand the subconscious in a sense, if you're watching a movie or video or I would say a book, reading a book or something, it is automatically going to download in your subconscious if you don't understand that, right? So if I'm sitting there reading a book, right, and it has all these kind of lustful fantasies, right? It's not real, right? The book is not real, right? It's a fiction book. Um, but understand when you read these things, it's going to come up in your brain, your subconscious. You're downloading it. We don't understand how powerful the brain is. The brain is so powerful. I kid you not. Um, and it absorbs a lot. It's like a freaking memory card, right? We don't know how much. We probably don't know how much gigabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. We don't know how much terabytes the brain could hold. It probably could hold so much. We just close it off sometimes and block it. You know what I mean? We block it with a whole bunch of other crap we don't need. So if I'm reading this novel or book or whatever, and it's very lustful and fantasy, it's gonna be downloading my subconscious. And when it's downloading my subconscious, it's going to breed, I would say, dreams. Those kinds of dreams. It's gonna create certain scenarios. It's going to put certain people in this reality into that dream to create this scenario, to create this dream. It's going to take bits and pieces of different people that I meet outside in this world to bring into this fantasy world that I've been reading into my subconscious, and then create a whole episode. If I could understand how the brain works, I kid you not, this is how the brain works, right? So it's very imperative for those that, if you want some sort of peace or whatever, but if you find that to be peace, then I can't argue with you. Then I can't argue with you feeling lustful and wanting to feel out your fantasy. uh, I cannot fault you for that. If that's how you feel like you want peace, then continue, I guess. But my peace is a little bit different. Um, but like I said, with this Christ consciousness, this Christ awareness, or I should say awareness, I should say, or how you say it. What's another word for it? Enlightenment. When you get enlightenment, you understand that this is just is, right? Everything around you is just is. This is not me preaching a different gospel, because the gospel is telling you to suppress these energies that you feel. When I feel like all these energies can be rerouted in a sense. So definitely, um, if you were to achieve enlightenment, you get to understand the way of the world. You get to understand self, and you get to understand people and why they do the things they do. So I could understand why people cheat, right? Or how you say it, step out. You know what I mean? It's because they wanting to fulfill a certain fantasy. It's with anything, really. It's with anything. I mean, look at people that do cosplay. You know what I mean? If they play a lot of video games or watch a lot of anime shows or Marvel shows or Marvel TV, comic books, all this other stuff, you probably want to dress up as one of the mugs, right? You probably want to dress up as one of them anime guys, Naruto or somebody. You know what I mean? Because it's probably in your subconscious. You're probably dreaming up Naruto all the time, or the Hidden Leaf or something somewhere in the village. and you throw in kunais and all those other crap, right? It's you wanting to live out this fantasy. You trying to become something. You know what I mean? From what your dream has brought up. You know what I mean? We may be misinterpreting our dreams in a sense, right? We automatically think that, okay, well, if I dreamed up this person, then that person is my soulmate or something like that. I don't understand the concept of soulmate when it comes to dreams. You may have your soulmate out there, but when it comes to dreams, I think dreams at the end of the day is bought up by what you have absorbed in this reality. We talking about people, we talking about friends around you, we talking about your circle, people you have met, you know what I mean? You know, your ex, stuff like that. Like, you probably seen a picture of your ex, and then you dream your ex. And I'm like, okay, well, now it's time to call her or something like that. Nah. You really have to be so self aware that, okay, now I see why I have dreamed this up. It's because I've seen a picture of my ex or something like that, or I've seen a picture, or I've seen something or watched something. Now I could get to a place of awareness that, okay, this dream was brought on by something I've read or watched. You know what I mean? This doesn't necessarily mean to go ahead and fulfill your fantasy. To me, this is just me. This doesn't necessarily mean to go, okay, well, since I dreamed it up, I'm going to fulfill my fantasy. Let me go after that person. No, it doesn't. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that. You know what I mean? What it means and what you're dreaming is brought upon by the experiences around you, what you have absorbed. It's going to be a lot of things that you absorb that create a whole episode, a whole movie inside your brain. You know, so if you're reading biblical scripture, then best believe certain biblical scripture is going to come inside your brain, and you're going to manifest the people in it, the people in the biblical stories, Moses, Jesus, you know what I mean? Everyone, and all the events, thereof. If your passion and your heart is cybersecurity or tech or anything dealing with technology or electricity or stuff like that, you're gonna be dreaming about going on top of the you know pole and fixing electricity or dealing with computers. It's going to just manifest in your brain. You know what I mean? If your heart and your mind is there, if it's something you're reading and your subconscious is there, then you're definitely gonna dream up these things. Does that necessarily mean to go after your fantasy? In this world, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It's just that mean it's the reverse process. You're just dreaming up by something that you have absorbed. But understand that the brain is very, very powerful too, as well, because it'll dream up a very powerful episode. You know what I mean? You could create so much in the dream world that to the point you feel like this dream world is so real, right? So that's what I wanted to get off my chest. I hope this dream doesn't cringe anyone, because it's dealing with like sexual lust and all that stuff and cheating. But here's my thing, man. Here's my thing, because although the cheating is wrong, it's you gotta get to a point of understanding, man. It's the real world, bro. These things happen, bro. These things happen, and I'm not telling people to start cheating on their spouse or whoever. I'm not doing. I can't do that, bro. I rather go to my wife first. Like, look, man, this is what I'm feeling. It's a fine honey. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm at a point in my life where, man, I could just be myself and be real, right? I'd rather be real, bro. But like I said, what you dream up is not you know, well, how you say it? It's not a okay to go fulfill my fantasy. Oh, that person is my soulmate. Oh, you know what I mean? No, you just had a dream about someone you probably saw yesterday or the day before. Your brain is so beautiful like that. You create an episode. You know what I mean? Why do you think people make episodes? Why do you think people make TV and movies? Because they dreamed up the damn thing. So they put it on picture. They put it on screen. But it's not something that you should just go live it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go ahead and go after what's mine. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm not telling people to stop going after what they want. Go after what you want, but remember understand that certain things should not be done. Certain things shouldn't be done, especially when it comes to hurting someone around you. You don't want to hurt the people around you at all. You know what I mean? So be mindful of what you watch. Be mindful of what you absorb, because it will come into your mind. Just understand that you will dream it up. So don't project your dream into the real world. Is what I'm saying. Don't project your dream back into the real world, especially if it means hurting someone. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. Be real. When it comes to cheating, be real with the person. If you're feeling these thoughts, I would say, if you're feeling lustful, I would say, then talk to your significant other, talk to your spouse, I would say, if you're feeling this way, and be real, because once you start to confess to your significant other and your spouse these feelings, everything, the whole dynamic just breaks down. You start to feel more freer, you know what I'm saying? Because now you get to express these negative sides of yourself. You start to express the negative side, not just the positive. People always want to be positive all the time. You have to express the negative side. That's how you release all these negative energies, all these demons. The last thing you want to do is fill up on demons, is what I'm saying. You don't want to fill up on negative energy, because the negative energy is going to pop. And then that's when you're gonna get to that point of, okay, well, now you're gonna start stepping out and doing wrong and hurting people. No. It's the last thing I want y'all guys to do. But anyway, I could speak more on this, but I don't have the time, so I catch you guys later. If you guys and girls made it this far, press that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube page at Notice TV. That's all caps, NOTICE TV. I'll catch you later, and may God bless you.